Alright, good morning everyone. How many of you, no I'm kidding, I'm not going to say it. Alright, now that I have your attention, I'd like to share a personal belief, and that belief is that I find a form of beauty in just about everything, you know, whether it has to deal with the sense of sight, with the sense of smelling, or even just listening, you know, like music. And Mencken once said, a cynic is a man who, when he smells flowers, looks around for a coffin. Now, what this means to me is that this man would rather be dead after smelling a flower. And this just means to me that, you know, he can't always have that sense of a good smelling flower around, so he'd rather be dead. And so I like to share today with you why I think there's a form of beauty, you know, when it comes to smelling or sight and just about everything. And first, I'd like to begin with an example that deals with my mom. She's a pretty good chef, and often I help her in the kitchen. And you know, we get pretty crazy with Mexican food, you know, all kinds of meats and everything, or you know, just a simple salad. And we're pretty big food enthusiasts, and you know, we appreciate our food. You know, it tastes good, it smells great, and even my mom's boyfriend, you know, he's always complimenting her with her food, and you know, food just tastes so great, and it's a form of beauty to me, you know, like an art. It smells so great, and you know, not being able to have that every day, I just go crazy. I always compliment my mom too. And another example, I guess it's pretty general. You know, accidents happen all the time. You know, such as like what happened in Japan, and I know it's pretty horrible, but I think some good can come of it. You know, can't elaborate too much on that. Another example, I guess, would be when you have a test or a final. You know, you probably fail it. I mean, some good can come from that. You know, you take some good out of it. You learn, you know, maybe next time I should do this, or I should study ahead of time. And I guess in conclusion, you know, that there's a form of beauty in everything.
All right, well, I wasn't too thrilled with the greeting, but I did enjoy the fake survey as the attention device. I thought that went pretty well. It was hard to hear exactly what you were saying on that original point about beauty being in everything. I finally got it after you got it started in your speech. The connection to the topic was a little vague, but you got there. You got some kind of idea going on, and you tried, and that's all that I'm asking people to do. You are really pacing a lot in the opening, and then you do a lot more of it the closer you get to the end of the speech. So you want to be careful about that. That's where all of your nervousness seems to be coming out in your feet wandering back and forth. The transition to the topic, like I said, was a little bit of a stretch. You do have a structure, but there's not a preview of what that structure is. And when you're looking out at the audience, it really feels to me a little bit like you're looking above us, over us, instead of engaging us. And so you want to do a little bit better job trying to connect with the audience with your eye contact. At one point, you've got your hands behind your back. You look a little uncertain about where you're going with your ideas there. And I think that that's an indicator of that same kind of anxiety that the pacing is. On your second point, there's really not much development of it. You know that you have a second point, but you really don't have any ideas to talk about there. And then the third point, it also doesn't really develop very much. I think you need to project your voice a little bit more. You need to have a little bit more energy. Watch the pacing with your feet. I did like that at the end you kind of came back to the point that you were trying to make, and even though it's not directly related to the topic, you've got your thesis, in your head, and that's what you want us to think about at the end of the speech, and that's a good way to finish off. All right, thank you.